Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So friends, as you know, with the help of these kinds of kids animated stories, I'm just practicing. So as usual, I'm going to share another interesting story. So please stay connected until it ends. So without further delay, let's start. Long time ago, there used to be live a lady named Shelley in the town called Horton. She had a son. She had a son and his name was Samuel. Samuel used to work in a very well known organization for his living. One day one day he goes in a flower shop to buy a bouquet for his office function. Then he sees a girl on the shop and she was selling bouquet and flowers. The and she was very beautiful. then he started then he started looking to her, and then Samuel asked, hey, what's your name and what do you do? Then she says, my name is Ruby. I sell flowers for my living. Then then she make already lots, make so many bouquet. Then Samuel liked a bouquet and he asked, how much money will you take for this bouquet? Then Ruby says, only 300 rupees. And after buying the bouquet, Samuel left from there. While returning, he was kept thinking about Ruby, and he was thinking, girl is really really very beautiful, and why these kinds of feelings coming. So in this way 2 to 3 days passed. One day again he goes to meet Ruby, and he says to Ruby, hey Ruby, you are so beautiful, and if you don't mind, shall I ask something? Then Ruby says to Samuel, yes, of course you can ask. Then he buy a flower rose, and he proposed her in a filmy style, and he says, if you don't mind then you please will you marry me? Then Ruby says to Samuel, then she takes Rose and says, yes, I can marry you. I can marry with you, but there is no perfect matches between us. You are rich and I am poor. Then Samuel says to Ruby, I don't believe such kinds of thing. I just believe in humanity. You just tell me, will you marry me or not? Then Ruby did not reject his, and he says, yes, I'll marry you. And after some time they got married. then uh, samuel Samuel brings Sally his house. Then his mother she then Samuel's mother sees her sees her son, and she became very happy. Then she becomes very happy. Then she says, welcome my dear son, and you today you come today you come after so long, and is she who is with you? Then Samuel says to mother, she is your daughter-in-law now. We got married. Then Sally became sad, and Sally became angry and sad, and she says, dear son, you got married without asking me, and this girl is very poor. I I have so very beautiful girl for you. Why did you get married? Why did you get married with this poor girl? Then Samuel says to mother, don't say such things. Now she is your daughter-in-law. Then then Samuel then Sally says to Samuel, okay, but she will have to learn all the indicates and manner our house, and she will have to do all the household chores, and she will have to take care of my house. Then then Samuel says to mother, okay mother, she will learn in no time, okay. Then Ruby, Samuel and Shelly started living together in same house. Samuel used to go Samuel used to go to office. Shelly and Ruby used to stay in the house whole day. Then then Shelly was very angry on Ruby, so she decided to teach a good lesson to Ruby, and she started teaching her a lot. And Ruby started doing all the household chores, like cooking, laundry, cleaning, washing, etc. But even then, Charlie was not happy with her, and she started making lots of. She started blaming even a smallest thing. One day she says to Ruby, "Hey Ruby, what are you doing?" Then she says, "Mother, I am cooking. I am cooking lunch for everyone." Then Sally says to Ruby, "How much time will you take? Bring me a cup of tea." Then Ruby says to mother, "Yes, mother, I am bringing in a while." Then Ruby prepared a cup of tea for Sally. Then Sally tasted. Then Sally tasted the tea, and he throw throw cup in the floor. And she says, "Oh, what kind of tea have you prepared? Look, it's not tasty." Then Sally, then Sally, then Ruby becomes so sad, and he says, "You don't worry, mother. I will prepare. I will prepare another cup of tea for you." Then Sally says to Ruby, "You don't do this. If you make another cup of tea for me, then you will only waste my son's money. You just go away from here." Then Ruby goes to wash lots of clothes. Even then, after some time, Sally brings 3 buckets of clothes inside her room, and she gives to Ruby, and she says, "You will have to wash 3 buckets clothes again and more." Then Ruby says to mother-in-law, "Yes, mother, I will wash in a while." She washes 3 buckets of clothes and hangs, and she goes on the terrace to dry. After return, and she comes inside the hall. Then she sees lots of footprints, lots of muddy footprints on the all over the floor. Then mother-in-law says to Ruby, "Hey Ruby, look, lots of soil in the hall. You just clean it right now." Then Sally says to mother-in-law, "Yes, mother-in-law. Yes, mother-in-law. I will clean it in a while." And now she understood that mother-in-law is treating her, and even then she was kept working. So she cleaned the floor, and in this way, lots of time passed. One day, one day, uh, uh, distance relatives. One day, a distance relative comes to meet Shelly, and she says to Shelly, "I have found a good marriage. I have found a good girl for your son. Look this photo, and this match is also perfect. If you will get married, if you will marry your son with this girl, then you will get lots of money, lots of household articles, and lots of jewelry, and this girl is also so beautiful." Then Sally got greedy. Then Sally becomes greedy, and and after some time she decided to kill Ruby. Then even now, after some time, she started teasing her even more, Sally. But Ruby was kept working. So one day, whenever Ruby was preparing food in the kitchen, then suddenly she remembers another work, and she comes outside of the kitchen and goes to do that work. Then suddenly, in no time, Shelly entered in the kitchen, and she adds lots of chili powder, lots of salt on the food in the food, and she hurriedly comes out on the hall, and she was set there. Then Ruby asked to mother-in-law, "Mother, the food is ready. Shall I serve for you? If you don't mind, then shall I serve for you?" Then Sally says to Ruby, "No, no, I don't want to eat right now. I am waiting for my son. Then, when he will come, then we all will eat together, okay?" Then, then Ruby says to mother-in-law, "Okay, mother-in-law." After some time, Samuel comes from office, and then he goes for fresh. Then, then Ruby, then Ruby filter the food. Then Ruby again filter the food, and she serves the food. Sat everyone sat on the dining table for their dining table for their dinner. Then Sally tastes a bite of food. Then then her face turns red with anger, and she started crying, and she says, "Kia, kia, kia, what kind of food have you prepared? Look, you have added lots of chili powder and salt in the food. Look, it's not tasty." Then Samuel says to mother-in-law, "Hey, mother-in-law, what are you talking about? Food is," Ruby cooks, "so delicious food. Why are you saying like this?" Then Sally says to Samuel, "If you are thinking that it's lie, then taste by yourself." Then Samuel tests the food, and he found out it was so spicy, and there was lots of chili, chili powder and salt in the chicken in the food. And after white uh, after eating bite, she spit on the floor food, and she started abusing to Ruby, and says to Ruby, "Ruby, what kind of food have you prepared? Look, today you have added lots of chili powder and salt in the food. It's not tasty." Then she says, "I have added in proper amount. I don't know how is this happen? How is this happen?" And now then Simon says to Ruby, "Go inside the kitchen and prepare another food for us, and I am waiting outside of the house, okay?" Then Ruby goes inside the kitchen, and in an hour she prepared another food for them. Now everyone sat on the dining table for their dinner, and they started eating peacefully. After watching all of this, that they are eating their food peacefully, Ruby became Ruby became happy, and after some time they go to sleep. In this way, Sam, Sally kept treating her. Lots of time passed. One day she decided to kill her. Whenever when Ruby goes on the terrace to dry clothes, then she comes on the terrace, and as soon as she started pushing her, then Ruby goes another side, and because she was in a hurry, she she fall from the terrace in the floor, and her body gets so injured, and her legs and hands broken, and she became unconscious. then ruby then ruby comes right then, steps down of the from the terrace, and she takes Sally to the hospital with the help of her neighbors, neighbor, and after the treatment, she comes in her consciousness, and she finds in front of Ruby and Samuel. Then she started crying, and he says, "Dear, my dear son, please forgive me. Ruby is really very precious for us, and she she is know that how to cook food well manner, and she respect others too. Please forgive me. I have treated her a lot, and from now onwards I will never do this. I have understood now, and please forgive me if you can." Then uh, then then Ruby says to mother-in-law, don't you please don't say such things, my dear mother-in-law. you are my you are like my mother. Please don't say such things. After hearing Ruby's word, Shelley started crying. Were on lots of tears were on in her eyes, and after some time she recovered, and everyone started living together in a same house. And now Shelley started treating her beautifully like her own daughter. So friends, this was the story which I shared. So it's evening and getting dark. You can see I am on the also in my terrace. I will have to go inside my kitchen, inside my room. I will I have to I have to prepare some evening snacks for my husband. So I'll meet you in the next video. You can see on. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.